You know, unfortunately, some people call me the light man. You're the man who makes the light work. Yeah. And in fact, it's only one small part of my activities, working with these light pieces. Yeah. And, you know, I've been doing light pieces since 1968. I didn't do any. The first piece of work I made when I came to Norway, in fact, was a neon piece. And it was a piece I'd drawn up 4 or 5 years before. And I came to Norway, I had finances to make this piece. Yeah. I got it made in Norway. And it was the first piece I had in Høstutstillingen. Yeah. And it was, and I remember the jury that time, the people came to me after and said, they'd never seen anything like it, this sort of light sculpture. And that was 1978, 79, something like that. And then it just laid away. And I didn't do any more light pieces until around 94. Okay. And it just so happened, and now we're back to monumentality. Yeah. I'd been making enormous, great big, heavy sculptures. My studio was full of heavy sculptures, my storeroom was full of heavy sculptures, the forest where I live was full of heavy sculptures. And I just thought, I need to shift this slightly. How do I make big things with this sort of theatrical presence, which doesn't break my back and it doesn't take up more space? And it just thought, I know how. Click. Then you got it, click, and now you haven't. So I started just making light pieces, and it just so happened I could have this enormous volume of material, light. And when I didn't want it anymore, flick, and it was gone.
Men selv om du, altså jeg vet ikke hvor glad, mange kunstnere ikke så glad I å snakke om kunsten sin heller, for da hadde jo heller skrevet bøker eller lavet teater, ikke sant?
Well, I think they should learn.
Ja. Kanskje det. Men hvis du nå ikke surrealist, og du vel det også, du naivist, og du vel det også, kan du ikke, nå skal vi gjøre oss ferdig etter hvert, men kan du ikke fortelle hva du gjorde I 1974 var det Manchester eller London? Du kommer fra Manchester, men I 74 så tror jeg I hvert fall verdens største surrealist. Det var litt opptatt av Michael O'Donnell. Kan du ta den kortversjonen?
Yeah, I can try the short version. Yeah, 74. I was much younger and much prettier. This Vogue magazine asked me to do a room set.
That's a big magazine, isn't it?
Well, you had two versions. You've got the London version, London Vogue, American Vogue. Yeah. London Vogue or European Vogue asked me to do this piece. I had to make a room in yellow. What we wanted was to get a big orange tomcat in, some yellow birds, and well, it all worked out sort of okay.
And you were 24 years old or something?
Yeah, I was 24, just finished, 6 years in art school, coming out with a master's degree from the Royal College. Yeah. And in the background, there's a very famous piece by a very famous photograph with Salvador Dali in, which is Salvador Dali jumping up in the air, throwing a bucket of water across the room with some cats flying out of the water. And this piece I was doing was with cats and with birds, etc. And the whole thing was set up that we'd have the cat, the birds free flying, everything in yellow, this perfect for Vogue magazine. And in the background, I painted this copy of the photograph of Dali with my head on it and a Dali moustache on.
It's really nice.
So, I mean, this went off. Vogue were very happy. They paid me whatever it was. I can't remember what, a very small sum of money to do this. And 3 months later...
But they printed it.
Oh, they printed it. Yeah, it was all over the world. And then the Dali bloody foundation then start contacting Condé Nast, the publishers, and saying, hey, you haven't given us the permission, we never gave you the permission to use the Salvador Dali. You must pay us millions of dollars in compensation, you shits. So, I mean, you know, you think, oh, for Christ's sake. So we wrote back to them and said, listen, this is Michael O'Donnell's head in this photograph, but if you really want to be a pain in the arse, we'll print you an apology. Sure. So the apology was very straightforward. Michael O'Donnell acknowledges that he used Salvador Dali's very well-known photograph, blah, 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 but it's his own head, stupid. Yeah. Bunk.
It's a very nice story, and I mean, for a 24-year-old just examined from the Royal College of Art in London, it must be a great experience in a way. I won't compare you with Salvador Dali. Have you been in Figueras and looked at his museum?
No, and I never will.
Okay.
Not after what the foundation tried to do
what
to
the foundation had done with you. But just, you are now in Tønsberg. Salvador Dali once came with train to Perpignan on the French border of Catalonia. And he went out on the train station and said, I hereby declare dette for å være verdens sentrum. Could you please declare Gråbrødregaten in Tønsberg to be the center of the world now, please, Michael? You just have to say, I hereby declare.
That would be an extraordinarily pompous thing for me to do. And I don't think a humble innvandrer as I has any right to come to your wonderful Norway and to put any part of Norway as the centre of the world. Remember, I've got to do other shows in other towns. And if I hang my colours to the mast of Tønsberg, what happens when I go to another town? I'm fucked up the arse well and truly. So I would suggest that a better artist than I should come and do this.
Okay, but you are here now, and we are delighted to have you here, and we are very excited how the people of Tønsberg are going to react. We are not going to invite the Arbeiderpartiet in Tønsberg especially, but I suppose they will come around during the night and have a look at the fish.
Well, this is very true. I mean, it'll be the Arbeiderparty in England uses red as their colour, so maybe it is dead right. And the only thing I would say is that yes, I mean, I'm very grateful for the support Arbeiderparty gave me the last time I showed in Tønsberg. Yeah. I think they did me a great service, and in fact, yes. I'm very, very grateful. Yeah. And if they would continue with my public relations, I'd be very happy. The only thing I would say sort of to end is that in a way that I really did at one stage consider very strongly coming to live in Tønsberg. I think it's a really nice town, and I thought this is a place where I really want to live, but relax. I've changed my mind.
It's very, very nice of you to say that. And it must be a great pleasure for you both to have upset the Salvador Dali Foundation and the Mayor of Tønsberg, Harald Haug-Andersen, Arbeiderpartiet.
Well, I think
that's two great things.
I think this is interesting. You're probably the first person in the world ever to sammenligne that Arbeiderparty in Tønsberg, or this gentleman who you mentioned, with Salvador Dali. I'm sure he'll be very pleased.
I have never met Salvador Dali, but I've met Mayor Harald Haug-Andersen. Thanks a lot, Michael, for coming. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. He saved it to the end.
Okay,
Jesus Christ, it's freezing here. Did you see me shaking? Was it? Var du klar? Ja, men...